Let's see why the Buffalo Bills are en route to the playoffs.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout.
Buffalo Bills go undefeated. And we're going to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Now, baby, come on, come on.
No one
Come on
circles the
and
wagon
shout.
like the Buffalo Bills.
All right. And we are ready. Okay. We are live, and we are back with another edition of the Overdue Bills podcast. And as promised, we said we're going to have a guest on for you guys every week. As you can see, it's just me flying solo from the gang today. Got a couple guys with me from the Carolina Panthers. I want you guys to introduce yourself. I'll start with you, Rashad.
Yep. So it's Rashad, one half of the Panther Nation podcast. Yeah, we lit the largest Panther presence on YouTube. So welcome, and we appreciate you having us on the show.
Yeah, and I appreciate you being here. And then we'll go with our other guy. You see it, Dave.
What's going on, guys? This is Dave, the other half of Panther Nation podcast. As Rashad said, the largest independent Panthers YouTubers on the face of the planet. You know what I'm saying? So we in here. You know what I'm saying? The squad might be mediocre, but this podcast is not. Let's do this.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. Glad to have you guys. But I got to take care of a little bit of housekeeping first. This episode and every other episode is brought to you by Buffalo Wing Kings. There's two things the guys here at the Overdue Bills podcast know. That's Bills football, and that's wings. Our first choice and the best choice is Buffalo Wing Kings. At Wing Kings is Wings 101 with over 101 different flavors, and their beloved Wing of the Month special, Wing Kings, is sure to school any other wing place around. Hit them up for Bills games, parties, or any random night you got wing cravings, hit those guys up. Stop down and visit them at their Elmwood Village location at 484 Elmwood Avenue, or give them a call at 716-248-1427 and find out why they say and we know they got the best wings in town, hands down. And make sure you mention our name, Overdue Bills Podcast. Get 10% off your order. All right. And just a little bit more housekeeping. Check out overduebillspod.com, overduebillspod.com. Our guy Mike, he's going to have an article for you guys tomorrow morning. You got the merch, the website for the merch. We got all of our content on there, so definitely hit that up. Like, share, subscribe. But yeah, let me get into this, man. So, quick question of the day. We always start with a quick question of the day. I guess we can go. I can make it a two-parter because you started this season, with kind of, I guess I would say some promise, some more promise at the quarterback position, and then maybe a little bit more spice with the offensive coordinator. And both of those positions are kind of in limbo right now. I just want to hear what you got. What's your take on that? What do you guys think about that with the departure of Joe Brady and then obviously Sam Darnold and the Cam Newton coming back situation?
Well, I think from a Panthers perspective, we got issues. We got issues up front from a coaching standpoint. The firing of Joe Brady. A bit of a scapegoat thing there. Was it warranted? Yeah, he wasn't performing that great, but we got issues, bro. We got issues up front, and from the quarterback perspective, Sam Darnold was a shit show from the beginning, and he should have never been a Carolina Panther. But we have this issue and this thing about veteran quarterbacks, and it seems like we don't have we don't take a liking to young guys, so they're going to continue with this veteran quarterback thing. Cam Newton, Sam Darnold, Teddy Bridgewater, you name it, they're going with old heads. And that's just what it is. We love Cam. Obviously, Cam 2015 MVP took us to the Super Bowl. So anytime we get Cam back, that's a great thing. Not the same dude, of course, but we don't expect him to be the same guy. But he did bring a bit of an energy back to the Carolina Panthers that was much needed at the time. That has kind of worn off a little bit here. We're like 3 weeks in and we're still, losing games, but we still love Cam at the end of the day.
Yes, that's good. I guess I'll ask you, Dave, I guess like going into the season, because obviously as Bills fan, we were sad to see Sam Darnold go because, that was 2 dubs in the season against him. At least that's how we kind of looked at it. But
still is with Zach, bro. So you ain't got nothing to worry about.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. But so going into the season, were you guys kind of mad? Were you kind of mad to see Bridgewater go, or just kind of they didn't even bring in, like, they could have drafted a guy or went that scenario? What's your take on that?
My thing about the Teddy Bridgewater situation has always been that you had a plan when you made a decision to sign the guy, right? So for you to decide to cut bait after one season and just blow up the plan that you had, and then you bring in Teddy Bridgewater, that means you're not going to draft a young quarterback. You think that Sam Darnold's going to be your guy. So, like, you kind of burn Teddy. Teddy's out in Denver out here not turning the ball over, even though y'all claim even though that was the concern when he was in Carolina, when he really didn't turn the ball over that bad in Carolina either. He's not turning the ball over. He's doing everything he can to win with Denver. And we're sitting here with Sam Darnold that was on pace to break the franchise record for interceptions in the season until he got hurt. So like, it's just for me, it was just, you blew up the plan. You got this new head coach. This head coach makes these decisions and you continuously blowing up these plans. And now at some point I'm like, all right, it's obviously not working. We're in QB purgatory right now. What do we want to do?
Fact.
Well, we lived there forever. So, we kind of getting lucky right now. We got our guy. But I kind of want to transition over, I guess.
No, you got our guys. You got our guys.
You got all our guys.
Then allowed you to get your guy.
Yeah, I shout out to our guy Bean. He came over
back,
and brought everybody with him. I'm loving it.
I give anything to have that man back with Sean McDermott. I would love to have those dudes back.
Oh my God, man!
I give anything to get those dudes back.
Yeah, we're definitely happy to have him here. McDermott the last couple of weeks hasn't been very popular amongst Bills fans, and I guess I would say all of us on the pod. Just with his.
Well, I got news for the rest of your dudes, man. It could be worse. This is.
Oh yeah, no, that's hey, we didn't make the playoffs until he got here, so we're definitely grateful for him. But that's for sure. That's for sure. But I guess I'll transition into like another part of a high hopes for a guy coming into the season. He's a household name. Christian McCaffrey. What is the thoughts on Christian McCaffrey as a whole? The guy just can't seem to stay on the field. I know fantasy owners, Carolina fans, they got to be so frustrated. What's going on with that, man?
I never wanted to pay him the contract that he got.
Yeah, it's weird with running backs, man.
No, you don't pay. Look, man, as the Panthers fan, I didn't show up when Cam showed up.
Facts.
I was here during the Jonathan Stewart, during the D'Angelo Williams era, where we overpaid them too. So you don't that ain't the winning formula when it comes to winning the championship. You don't overpay your running backs. All you got to do is look at the last set of Super Bowl champions and the running back. They're starting running backs, and it shows that. Even like for Buffalo, prime example, right? The Bills have a legitimate shot to win the AFC. It's probably between you guys, the Titans, the Chiefs, and the Patriots. Those are probably the four, right?
Yeah.
The starting running backs for all four of those teams. The only one that's paid is Derrick Henry, and right now he's on the pine.
Yeah.
Everybody else, they're not paying that much money for their running backs. You guys ain't paying Devin Singletary and Zach Mostert money. The Chiefs ain't playing. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on a rookie deal. Darrell Williams ain't really making that much money. And when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, their running backs weren't making that much money.
No.
So from my standpoint, I thought paying Christian McCaffrey, I'm not saying he's not a great player. He is a great player. But ever since that man got his check, and I say this all the time, when you get paid, them injuries are different.
Yeah.
Injuries are different once them checks get bigger. And I'm not saying he's faking injuries. I'm just saying there's some things he was willing to play through, and there's some things he's not willing to play through now.
Absolutely. The incentive to come back, especially, on a losing team, or, I hear you. That's definitely a tough call every time, or, it kind of seems one way or another. But, speaking of injuries, I guess we'll dive into the game here. What is the Carolina injury report looking like right now going into our game on Sunday?
While Rashad looks that up, there's one thing I'm going to say about that, man. The way things are going on this week from the standpoint of COVID, I'm more worried about COVID than anything else right now, because I just saw a bunch of tickers. There's more players that just got COVID positive that might not play on Sunday.
And it's like I got fantasy playoffs start this week, so you got to look at that aspect too. I got two guys that I got Jalen Waddle. He just went out today, and I got Darren Waller wasn't COVID wise.
Yeah, he's out. He's out. They ruled him out anyway.
It's like damn. But,
so what's funny? It's funny you say that. Like in one of my leagues, the one league I make the playoffs in, they're legitimately thinking about just paying the regular season standings because they know that the playoffs was going to be a mess with COVID.
For sure.
So they're debating it right now on whether or not they want to do that.
That Omarion strain is coming through crazy.
Omarion.
That's funny. But yeah, so from an injury standpoint for the game, the only major injury we have right now is AJ Bouye, who has not practiced Wednesday or Thursday. Outside of that, DJ Moore was banged up, had a little bit of hamstring. That's something to watch, especially in the cold. Those things linger. He was limited, but outside of that, everybody's pretty healthy. We're pretty good to go. For guys that are
even
on the roster.
Even Sam Darnold came back to practice, baby.
Even Sam Darnold came back.
I saw that. So I guess I'll ask you, if he's healthy, do you want to go Sam or Cam?
No. The answer is no.
The answer is
Phil, or
no.
Phil. Yeah.
You should have asked a different question, bro. You should have asked, do you think they'll bring him in? Yes.
Yeah.
I think Sam would be back if he was healthy and ready to rock. Do I want to see him again? No.
Yeah, our opinion is you play Cam, but obviously just to follow it up, that we took the 5th-year option, so he's going to be around next year, and so I think Coach Rule and company are going to want to see what they have or what's left of him. So they're probably going to play him whenever he's 100%. I think he's a few weeks away, so I think you'll see Cam and PJ, whatever. We have the stupid little two quarterback system thing going on, so you might see both of those guys, but I don't think you'll see Sam on Sunday.
Yeah. So on our end, we had a pretty big guy show up on the injury report this weekend. Josh Allen left the game in a boot on Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon, I should say. But they interviewed guys today, and he practiced today and said that he looked fine. So I don't think there's going to be any issue there. But I guess what we're really worried about, heading into this game is, you mentioned that, we're one of the teams that could win the AFC. Well, we have to win out now. We're in a position to almost kind of win out with New England's success to even make the playoffs. And that, the AFC is such a logjam that we're in a tough spot. So, going into this game, it's kind of if we don't win, the chances go from like 62% to like 8% to even make the playoffs. That's the craziness. We didn't think we'd be here in this scenario. So hopefully, the guys are going to be able to come in and play. So we're going to transition over to, I guess, some matchups here. So we got, obviously the Bills offense, they showed some life, in that second half. They showed, what we knew that they were capable of with that roster on paper. What can you guys say that Matt Rule and the defensive staff, what do you think they're going to kind of draw up to be able to stop this Bills offense?
I don't know. We're so inconsistent. We have on paper, we have a very good secondary. Yeah. Our secondary is pretty good. Stephon Gilmore he's still balling. I think he's only targeted once, so he's locking shit down. He's not the worry. Opposite side, we got CJ Henderson, a guy who struggled last week. He was benched. And so I don't know the secondary with AJ, especially with AJ Bouye going down or not practicing this week so far. I have some concerns there about the secondary. Could you pick us apart there? But it's so inconsistent, man. Like this team is frustrating because our defense is something we hung our hat on all year long, and this is over the past couple weeks. It's just been bad. Like we've got guys that over pursue. Like our edge rushers are sack hunting. Pause. Right, they're trying to get the sacks, and they're not setting the edge. So we can be run on. I was looking up a stat. I think you guys are averaging about 5. I think the second most yards per average is going to the left, like left end. And so we got gassed last week. The Falcons just ran it to the left like 4 or 5 consecutive times, and we could not stop it. Right. So that concerns me. The quarterback run scares me as well, because Josh Allen obviously has his legs, and we over pursue a lot. Our guys will try to get a sack, they'll over pursue, and then Josh Allen's off to the races. But I mean, if we brought our game, bro, I think we could slow y'all down a little bit, but it's just so inconsistent. We might ball out. I don't know. Our defense might show up, but it's just we have no idea, bro. And our third down defense is awful, bro. Awful.
Yeah. So now, I mean,
and the big thing I think Rashad missed too was that while our defense as a whole, for a season, they've been playing pretty damn good for the season. But over the past month, we're bottom 5 in the NFL. Like our defense has been terrible in the past month. Like you said, our secondary is definitely our strength, but linebackers, the edge can't stop the run, and the outside is just bad.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the offense. I mean, I guess to their to their advantage, I would say, our offensive line hasn't played well, this whole season. So a guy I'm really looking forward to seeing, hopefully that we could slow down. I don't know. I really honestly haven't been paying too much attention, but years past he's been balling. Brian Burns, and he gets mentioned a lot on that Panthers front. He's going against a struggling offensive line, and we like you said, maybe they'll over pursue, and Josh with Josh being maybe hampered by that foot a little bit. I don't know how well he'll be able to take off.
That's something to watch. That's something to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then not only Brian Burns isn't necessarily the one you got to watch. Hassan Reddick is the one you need to watch. He's got 10.5 sacks on the year. Hassan is balling. Brian Burns is great. He gets the pressures. I'm not sure where I think he still might lead the team, in pressures. So he gets there. Like I said, he'll tend to over pursue, or he'll get close, but he can't quite bring the quarterback down. And so it also leads us to giving up big runs too. So I don't know, man. It's something to watch. That's going to be something to watch. And I don't know about your offensive line. You say they're struggling, but I think Josh Allen can kind of compensate for some of that.
Well, that's the thing is, healthy Josh Allen has been able to bail them out of a lot of pressures. I think we were in the top 3 of most pressured quarterbacks in the league. But like you said, Josh Allen, he's tough to bring down, and he runs a lot. So that he's been bailing those guys out of a lot of sacks. So I'm kind of nervous in that aspect. Hopefully, he's able to kind of still do some of the things that he can do. But I guess on the flip side, I'm going to go to you with this one, Dave.
Hey, real quick. I got to run. I got to get out of here. So, yeah, man, appreciate you having us. Dave can hang out, but I got to get out of here, man. This is fun. Send us a show whenever you get done with it.
Yeah, definitely will do. Thanks for getting on, man.
Right,
so, Dave, I'm going to flip to you, man. So on the other side, we obviously Trey White is out. You guys have a pretty formidable receiver core. Regardless of who the quarterback is, you got some guys who could play. What would you do, or what do you think they're going to do from an offensive standpoint, going against our defense, who has been susceptible to the run the last couple weeks, and then we still have some all-pro caliber players in the secondary, but with Trey White banged up, do you think that the offense that they're going to try to just run us to death, or try to sling the ball?
Well, I mean, part of the reason why the reasoning of Joe Brady's exit was because he didn't run the ball enough. But I mean, what would you expect when you bring somebody in that was a passing game coordinator, right?
For sure.
But either way, so I think like Matt Rule would like to run the ball more. So I'm pretty sure he's going to try to take the advantage of running the ball more with Chuba Hubbard and Amir Abdullah. I think he's going to capitalize and try to run the ball as much as possible. Until last week, we really wasn't throwing the ball down the field like that. Like I think we've had more 15-yard passes last week than we had all season. So from that standpoint, without Tre'Davious White there, I think we might try to take a couple of shots. If they're going to do the 2 QB thing, as much as I don't agree with it, they probably will take a couple of shots with PJ. Maybe they'll take a shot or 2 with Cam. But from that standpoint, I mean, until last week, we didn't really do really good when it came to target distribution. Like I think this last week was the first time that Robbie Anderson got more than 7 targets all season.
Yeah, and I'm a big Robbie Anderson fan, and I wanted to get him when he left the Jets, but obviously he ended up in Carolina. Your coach didn't coach Temple, bro. So that's why. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. Got him, and we snagged D-Doc, but couldn't get Robbie from the Jets. Robbie, he's the kind of player that him and DJ Moore, they could take the top off of a defense for sure, and that's what I've always liked in those guys.
Yeah, they just really never had the opportunity this year. I mean, between Sam Darnold not taking the chances, and then when he does take the chances, they turn the ball over, or like Cam not necessarily knowing the offense, which that's a different discussion for a different day. So I'm not buying that he doesn't know enough to do everything. That's the excuse that the coaches. That's the excuse the coaching staff is using right now. I'm not buying it. I mean, he
wasn't going that long.
Nah, even then, like typically you can just do a no huddle with him. He prefers to play no huddle anyway.
Yep.
So
no, for sure. So we normally do like a little segment to where we'd have you give us a player from the Panthers that we may not know, that's not maybe a household name that we'll probably know after Sunday's game. I guess we can go with both sides of the ball. If you have a player on both sides that maybe not be a household name that we can look out for on Sunday. If you have any, if not,
nah, then, I mean, defensively for me, it would definitely be. I'm gonna say Keith Taylor. Okay. He's been struggling a bit as of late. He was a 5th year round draft pick last season in 2021. He's been playing at a high level. So I'm looking to see he might make some plays for you guys. Because I know CJ Henderson got benched last week. So I think Keith Taylor's gonna get some love due to that. So I like Keith Taylor a lot. Another guy on the offensive side of the ball. Oh, good God. Jeez, man. I know the fan base is going to hate me, but I'll say Michael Jordan's been playing rough the past couple of weeks. But when he first got some starting love at the on the offensive line, he was nasty. And his nastiness got him some more opportunities. And he's been in a slump over the past couple of weeks. But if he can turn it around, like if our team plays desperate, I think he's due for a good game. Like I don't want to say Taylor Moton, that's the obvious one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to say like Dennis Daly or Pat Eflin or and Cam's obvious,
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about Amir Abdullah and Chuba.
Yeah, I'm a big Chuba guy, man. I like Chuba. He's hopefully he gets more of a shot and gets to.
I think the signing of Amir Abdullah made it interesting for Chuba because the big thing about Chuba right now is that they drafted him to be somebody that could take over for McCaffrey, right?
Yeah.
But his hands aren't as good as McCaffrey's, but Amir Abdullah's is pretty damn good.
Yep.
So Amir Abdullah's been taking up some of his work due to that.
Yep. All right. So definitely we'll be looking out for those guys in this matchup this upcoming weekend. And then now we're going to transition into our expectation versus reality segment. It's brought to you by Buffalo Pet Supply. Do you have a pet? Are you looking to get a pet or know somebody who has a pet? There's only one place to send them to make that pet live its best life. Buffalo Pet Supply. Specializing in fish, small animals, and reptiles, Buffalo Pet Supply has everything you need to get you set up or maintain whatever setup you may have for your pet. Stop down and see the family-owned and operated staff over at 1345 Military Road, or give them a call at 716-874-1951. Same deal, mention the Overdue Bills pod, get 10% off your order. So, what we like to do here, we like to do a little bit of expectation versus reality. I don't know if you partake in the fan duel, the gambling stuff, but we look at we look at some player props and we kind of say if it's an expectation, if you think it's going to go over or going to go under, what's your expectation of those? So I guess we'll start with your guys. Cam Newton, over 223 yards passing. Over under.
Oh boy, under.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's funny. Like I had one of the sponsorship for PNP is Underdog Fantasy.
Okay.
And typically, Cam would be a total between rushing and passing.
Okay.
And it was in the 200s last week, and I would have said when you said passing yards, that's why I said under. Yeah.
So I'm just grabbing these from online. Yeah. So shout out to Underdog. But they so you're gonna say under on that. So I guess we'll switch over to the receiver core. DJ Moore over 64.5 yards receiving.
I think he can get over that. I think he can get over that.
Okay.
Especially with Jadarius Wright being out.
Yeah, we got the young boys and Dane Jackson and Levi, but I think Micah Hyde. Yeah. I'm gonna say over 2 because he has that ability to catch a 40-yard, 50-yard catch. He seems like he does that every week in and week out, he'll catch at least one or two of those, or like catch a screen and break one because he's got the speed. But
I think one thing that's been consistent about our passing game overall is that DJ Moore has been able to get the target share. DJ Moore has gotten a lot of opportunities. He hasn't capitalized on all of them all the time, but he has gotten the opportunities. Like he's other than McCaffrey when he plays, nobody's getting more targets than DJ Moore.
That's All right. Well, that's good to know. So I guess we'll flip over to our side. Josh Allen over 286 passing yards.
Over.
Okay. It's just I'm gonna say over too, just because we gotta come out. We haven't been really successful running the ball. It's not the weather's supposed to be cold, but it's supposed to be clear on Sunday. So I think he's gonna be able to air it out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll go with one of the running backs, Devin Singletary, over 55.5 rushing yards. Over.
The only problem I have, right, because you guys got him, and y'all got Zach Moss still playing. Is he healthy?
So he's healthy, but he's been a healthy scratch the past couple of weeks because
that means it's Matt Breida. It's Matt Breida.
Yes. Yep.
So that's the concern I have, right? Like I think Singletary should be able to get over 55 yards, but the threat is Breida at that point.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go with under just because Josh Allen does take a lot. Like we didn't run the ball at all in the whole first half until that fake punt was our first running play of the game, and that was almost in the third quarter last week. So that just for that fact, I don't think he's gonna go over. I don't think he's been averaging about 9-10 carries, so he has to run the ball. He has to get a couple of chunk plays to do that.
But here's the thing, man. If Buffalo makes a decision that they want to run the ball and they run the edges and not try to go inside, he'll easily get 55 yards. He'll break a 20-yarder easily. He'll break one or two of them if he goes on the edge.
Yeah, and that's what I think they're probably going to end up doing in the run game because we were successful with that in the second half against Tampa. Guys like JPP and Shaq Barrett, they were kind of over pursuing on the edge, and we were running those off tackles. We were getting 10-12 a clip where Josh was pulling it down and taking off. So it sounds like your guys are doing the same kind of thing. Like I said, I haven't really watched much Carolina this season, but
we over pursue a lot. Like I could probably count how many sacks Brian Burns and Hassan Reddick should have, and Hassan's got double-digit sacks right now, but he could have had more. But Brian Burns definitely should be double-digit right now. They over pursue, and that over pursue kills you in the run game.
Yep. So. All right. Well, I'm glad you mentioned the sacks here. So we're gonna go Carolina defense over 2 sacks. I'll throw in the half there. I'll throw in the half. 2.5 sacks.
Under.
Okay. Yeah, we've been averaging about 2, giving up about 2. So I'm gonna go with under 2.
The over pursues, man. We don't get to we'll get a lot of hurries. We'll get a lot of hits.
Yeah.
Sacks have been a challenge.
Okay. Now on the flip side, we're still top 3 in takeaways. I'm gonna ask you over the Bills over 1.5 takeaways. Bills defense.
Oh my God! If we keep doing this, 2 you beat over. If we're gonna be playing 2 quarterbacks, bro, it's gonna be over. Yeah. Like even last week, each quarterback turned the ball over at once.
Yeah,
and threw a pick 6.
Yep. I remember. Because
twice. Cam had 2 turnovers. He had a fumble and a pick 6. And PJ Walker threw a pick at the end of the first half.
Yeah. So I'm gonna also piggyback the over. I think they're gonna try to get after Cam this week, make some mistakes, and get back to our. Like I said, this is every game from here on out for us is a must win now. So we kind of got to throw the kitchen sink at everybody. But with that being said, we're going to get to our final portion, the game prediction. So, I guess I'll start with you. What do you think is going to be the score prediction for this Sunday's matchup?
The last line I checked was that the Bills are 10.5-point favorites at home against Carolina.
Yes.
And I think the Bills are going to cover that 10.5 points. I think at this point, our team, I want to believe that they're bought in to everything that's been going on. But the fact that Cam Newton still has to do a 2 QB system with PJ Walker tells me a lot of how the coaching staff feels like he doesn't necessarily know the entire offense.
Yeah.
I think them going into a 2B QB system is going to bite us. I respect you guys as a really good football team. And at this point, like you said, every game for you guys is a must win. We are currently sitting at 5-8. So we're like, even though we're mathematically not out and we're in the hunt, we're not really in the hunt, right?
Yep.
Because we pretty much lost all the tiebreakers from that standpoint. I want Carolina to win this game so bad. I just don't see it. I think you guys got way too much talent on the defensive side, way too much talent on the offensive side. So I'm going to give a final score of 31-17 Buffalo.
I think this is the first time that that me or whoever else has been on with me for these shows has had the exact same score, prediction in mind. So I'm actually right there with you. It's gonna be a crazy crowd. I'm actually, the Bills Mafia. We all, the Bills Stadium. I have had season tickets for 9 years. It's always a crazy place. But I will say, I don't know if some fans are just kind of fed up or temporarily fed up, but there's a lot of tickets going for, I guess there's some tickets sold for less than the price of a Whopper this week. There was some $4 tickets going, which is ridiculous for a winning team. It's that we're turning into a spoiled franchise. It's a little crazy, but I'm gonna go with the same score. Actually, it's kind of a boring thing, but I think we're gonna cover. Yeah, I think we're going to cover, and I actually stick around the 31-34 range because that's our offense should be able to put those numbers up every week, and our defense should be able to hold teams under 20 points.
If our defense that was around in the first half of the season shows up tomorrow, then it'll be a different story. But like I said, over the past month, we've been a bottom 5 defense in the NFL. Yeah. I think statistically, we're still the second best pass defense in the league, but that's going off what we did at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it's still the same thing like with us in the beginning of the year, the points against and all that jazz, because our offense was kind of held up before last week they got going.
So I could tell you a quick story, man. One of the last away games I've been to for Carolina was in Buffalo.
Okay.
It was 2013, 8 years ago, matter of fact.
I was there.
EJ Manuel was your quarterback at the time.
He threw a walk-off to Watkins.
And he got who was it that got benched after that? Melvin White, I think it was, that got benched because he let the play. He's the one that gave up the play. Either him or so can't remember who. Either way, but the one thing that I remember about that game, because I was in the stands for that, and I had some pretty good seats. I paid $100 for 50-yard line seats. So it was, y'all prices are awesome there.
Oh yeah, even being a good team right now.
Yeah, but that game created Riverboat Ron.
Okay.
At that point, after that loss, he started taking more risks.
Okay.
And the Panthers turned their season around.
Yeah.
Ended up going 12-4 and made the playoffs.
Well, I'm hoping that it's a ripple effect. I'm glad you mentioned that, because we've been getting on McDermott for being too conservative, these last couple of weeks. I'm hoping that trend changes after last week's game, and it's kind of the same scenario, and we go on this little run. But we appreciate you getting on, man.
Just remember, man, Sean McDermott is a Ron Rivera disciple.
Yes.
So but he's a hell of a coach.
Me as a whole, I love him as a coach. He's a great defensive guy. He's still in the beginning of it. The other guys on the pod, they're definitely will be a lot more cynical. They call me Optimistic Matt on the pod. So I'm going to always be on the side of we're going to be all right, and one thing that this, and we're going to post this up on our channel as well. But one thing that Panthers fan base is starting to realize real fast now with what's going on with Matt Rule is that Ron Rivera wasn't as bad as I'm pretty
because the thing is, the big problem that I've been seeing with the Panthers team is that we've just been outcoached.
Yeah.
We've been outcoached at least 5 of our losses.
Yep.
Just outcoached.
That's the same way we kind of look at it too.
Nah.
Some of the game. You got Belichick, the indie game, there's a couple.
Yeah,
couple
but the thing is, look who you're naming. You're naming Belichick.
Oh yeah.
You're not naming we got outcoached.
Well, even last week.
We've gotten out coached by who did we get out coached by? Joe Judge. We got out coached by Joe Judge.
All right, that's fair.
No, I'm serious. We've
I
gotten out coached.
I know.
Yeah, like we've gotten out coached. Like we're supposed to get out coached by Bill Belichick.
Yeah,
like, I'm expecting that.
Yeah,
but getting out coached by some of these other guys that might get fired too is problematic.
Yeah,
like Brian Flores.
Yeah,
like
well,
they're no disrespect to Brian Flores, but he's a good coach.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like you gotta like. It seems like the coaching staff is like overwhelmed. Like they are getting out coached by every coach that walks up in here.
For sure. No,
that's my dilemma.
Yep. Well, you know, I think it's going to be a good game. At least, you know, it's
y'all.
Good weather. Well, yeah, it should be. I'm going to be happy to see the Carolina reunion. You know, obviously it's going to be a storyline. McDermott and Bean, all those guys going into the weekend against their old team. It's going to, you know, that's always the narrative when Carolina comes to town or we go down there. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll be at the game myself. So we appreciate having you on. Taking your time out of your day. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely, this is going to be up. Definitely stop by overduebillspod.com, overduebillspod.com. Our writer, Mike, he's going to have an article up for the game tomorrow morning. So be on the lookout for that. We still got merch. You can get it in time for Christmas. So definitely hop on there and take a look, see if you like something and order it up. We'll get it to you. And I guess as a customer, we always end the show with a little hey, and the guys aren't on, so they can't piggyback me on that. But see you,
man. Have a good one, boss. Appreciate the invite.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
Before you press, did you cut it off yet?
Yeah. No, I'm stopping.